After the first nuclear weapon was successfully detonated, Robert Oppenheimer, a renowned physicist, said, "I am become death, destroyer of worlds." Now that's pretty bleak, right? Well, the good thing is, nuclear power can be used today for more beneficial things, like powering a country rather than destroying another. So today, I'll be talking about the explosive aspects of nuclear energy. Nuclear energy, if fully implemented, would affect three core sectors: the climate, the economy, and public health. The climate is probably the most prevalent of the three, as it has the most to gain from nuclear energy implementation. Nuclear energy use would secure energy supply, meet energy demand, and result in a decrease in gas emissions, according to a paper written by professionals at the International Islamic University in Malaysia. This is very important, as this would definitely benefit our climate and show that there is definitely a positive impact that nuclear energy can have on it. In a paper published in the Journal for Contemporary Asia, Japan's carbon dioxide emissions actually increased in 2011 by 2.1%, and with more nuclear reactors being offline in 2012, more than 6.7% increase occurred. This also further goes to show that nuclear energy is very beneficial to the climate as it reduces harmful gases being released into the atmosphere. However, there are some risks that come with it for the climate. If there were a meltdown, the immediate environmental area would be destroyed. Whilst not global, this is definitely something to consider. The economy has also a lot to gain from nuclear energy implementation. In the same paper, it showed that Japan's gross domestic product declines exponentially with lack of nuclear reactor use. This shows that there is a correlation between the gross domestic product of a country and the use of nuclear energy. Both will benefit if both are used. However, there are some risks. If there were to be a meltdown, investors would likely pull out, which is very risky and makes the economy very vulnerable. Furthermore, there are a lot of initial costs, whereas long-term it is very sustainable. Initially, it shows that there is a very high price to pay for making a reactor and providing a workforce for it. The final thing that it impacts is public health. Public health is probably the most overlooked aspect, but definitely one of the most important. The public health has the most to lose from nuclear energy use because it makes workforces very, very vulnerable. Poorly regulated labor laws and poverty-stricken populations leave a vulnerable workforce, according to a paper in the Journal of Public Health Policy. This shows that people have a lot to get injured from or to get hurt from using nuclear energy. In the same paper, it also goes to talk about nuclear waste. Managing nuclear waste in a smaller and remote area will be challenging. So depending on the country that uses it, they might not have the resources or the area to actually get rid of the nuclear waste properly and safely, resulting in more risks for the public health. Overall, the nuclear power use affects the country globally. This makes it very, very important to look at every single aspect, including the climate, the economy, and public health, the three main things it affects. When discussing nuclear power, you need to look at the benefits and you need to look at the negatives, or else there won't be a holistic conversation regarding whether or not it'd be useful enough to use or too risky to implement. Thank you so much.